Hello all, my name is Abdul Rahman, and in this video I am going to talk about creating tables, altering tables and deleting the tables. So first of all I will talk about how to create the database tables. So we can create database tables. So we can create tables and we are going to use those data types that we have talked about in the last video, right? So we are going to use that in the last video we have talked about data types to the relational database management system, what types of data we want to store in each column. So for creating tables we need to use two SQL reserved words known as create and table. So these are the two SQL reserved words like create and table. Okay, so here, as you can see here, I have given create table in the uppercase letters. So the reason for writing them in the uppercase letters is that it's easy to distinguish between SQL reserved words and other words that we are writing. Okay, so here for example, so these two are the SQL reserved words which is used for creating the tables. Okay, we can give this in the lowercase letters like create table, create table. Okay, we can give them, but it's easy to distinguish between the SQL reserved words and the other words that we are writing. So then we have to give the name of the table that we want to create. We will be giving is pen drive. Okay, so I will be giving this, but for example, if you have written a code like this, if you have created a table which is some long code which is 30 lines or 20 lines anyhow, so if you have written that code and if you come after 6 months or 2 months, okay, if you see that table, if you see that code, if you are referring that code, then it's not easy to distinguish between the reserved words and the words that we have written. So if we write them in the capital letters, in the uppercase letters, then we can understand that this is the SQL reserved words. Okay, so I will be clearing all of this. Okay, as you can see here we have a table: pen drive ID, pen drive company and pen drive storage. So in the second part of the SQL series, second part SQL series, in that video I have talked about primary keys, tables and etc. So there in that video I have used this example pen drive ID, and then I have used this pen drive company and pen drive storage. Okay, so I have used this table for explaining what is primary key and etc. with the tables. So now I am going to create this exact table here. Okay, so now I am going to remove this one, and now I will be creating the table. So I will give is create table. So we have given create table to reserved words, and now I am going to give the name of the table that we want to create. Okay, so I want to create this exact table using the SQL code. So I will be closing this one. Okay, so now I will be giving the pen drive table. Create table is there, and then I'm going to give is pen drive, and now I'm going to give is brackets and the semicolon. So as you can see here in the table pen, we have first one is we have three things. One is pen drive ID, and another is pen drive company, and third one is pen drive storage. So I'm going to create this exact table in my database. So as you can see here we have given create table and we have given the name of the table that we want to create. After that we have used parentheses, and in the end we have used this semicolon. Okay, so we have used this semicolon. So in SQL structured query language, any command in SQL is going to end with the semicolon. So for example, if you are written the code and you forgot to give the semicolon or brackets, it's going to get us the error. Okay, so now I'm going to start defining the different columns on this table. So the first column is pen drive ID. So and it's also the primary key which will uniquely identify the specific row. So I have colored this in the green color. So I'm going to give it as a primary key. So now I'm going to hit here is enter. So now I will give is, we have three things: pen drive ID, we have pen drive company, pen drive storage. So pen drive ID is a primary key, and pen drive ID we have all of these numbers. Okay, so we are going to use here is the numbers. So remember the data type that we have used in the last video that we have talked about. The first one, which was int, which means whole numbers. So here we have the pen drive ID column. In this attribute we have 1 2 3 4 5. What is 1 2 3 4 5? They are the whole numbers. So that's why I'm going to give here is like pen drive ID, after that int, and then I'm going to give is it's the primary key. So I will be giving pen drive ID, and after that I will be giving int in the capital letters, like as, okay, int means which refers to the integer, but it's the whole number in SQL. So pen drive ID is integer, whole numbers, it has whole numbers, but it's also the primary key. So for that I am going to give here is primary key, and now after that I am going to give here is comma, and then pen drive company. We have pen drive company. Okay, the production of the company where it was built. Pen drive company is this. So I'm going to give is pen drive company. So now pen drive company. So pen drive ID is the numbers. So these are whole numbers. So that's why I have given here is int, and the primary key, which is the primary key which will uniquely identify each specific row. What is pen drive company? Let's see here. Pen drive company is the production of the company, right? So here, in which form it is? It's a character, not numbers, integers. These are shown is the character. So SONY, these are the alphabets, so these are known as characters. So pen drive company is a character. So for that variable character, I am going to use here is varchar. Remember in the last video we have talked about varchar, which is variable character, that I am going to use here. So we'll be giving varchar variable character. After that I will be giving here is this one, parenthesis. Okay, so I will be giving here is 20. So if you remember in the last video I have given here 20, because if you remember in the last video varchar was a third data type that we were talking about, and in that we were talking about we have to tell MySQL that how many characters that we want to store. Okay, so here we have this number, these names, Sony, these pen drive names, pen drive companies. Okay, so how much is the length of each character? So it's 20, the maximum. So like for example someone's name cannot be the 100 or 1000. If we give it is 1000, someone's name cannot be 1000 characters. Maximum number is that the last one is 30, or if you extend more then it's only the 30. So normally the names will be 10 to 15 characters. So for that I am going to use here is 20. If we give there 1000, then it's going to use more space in our database. So pen drive company varchar I have given, I have again 20, and again that I have to give here is, we have three things: pen drive ID, pen drive company, and the storage, the limit, how much the capacity that pen drive can store. So I am giving is pen drive storage. pen drive storage. Okay, I have given is pen drive storage. After that, what is pen drive storage? It's a like it's int, right? As you can see here, 16G, 16. Let's remove this GB. Don't see this GB. See this 16, 4, 8, 16, 32. So these are the numbers. So that's why I'm going to use here is int. Okay. So now we forgot to give here is the comma. Okay, let's leave that. So now let's run this program. So we are getting the error as I thought. Run it again. Pen drive already exists. So I think before this we have run this program. We'll be using command to delete the table. So now let's run this program again. So I have run this. So as you can see here, it's showing as is success. It's working. Rows affected is 0, and in the if you click here SQL, it is just showing the code that we have written. So as you can see here, in the third and the fourth line beside varchar in the parentheses I have given 20. As I said, the numbers cannot be, the names cannot be that much. Like if you give 1000, the space in the database will be more. Okay, so we don't need 1000. That's why I have given is 20. If you remember. Okay. So now, as you can see here, we have beside pen drive ID and we have int, and then we have is primary key. Okay, we have primary key. I'm going to close this one. We have primary key. Instead of giving primary key here, what we can do is we can give the primary key here also. So I'm going to cut this one. So I will be giving cut or okay, tab it over, and now I'm going to save this one. So now I have given only primary key, and now I have to store which is the primary key. Okay, so for that what I will do is I will be giving here like student, not student, I will be using the pen drive, sorry. Okay, so here I have to give is the pen drive ID. Okay, so now we can run it. If we can check this program if it's working. So let's run this program. So as you can see here, it's showing as is error because we can run it only once. Okay, we can run this program only once. We can create a table only once, because if we run it again, it will be showing as error. So for not showing that error, we have to delete that one. We have to delete the table that we have created. Okay, and if you run it, then it will be showing as the success. So for that, for deleting the table, I am going to use a reserved word keyword, or you say that is drop, and then table. So which table I want to drop? Here is pen drive, semicolon again, and run it. As you can see here, it's showing rows affected, which means the table has been deleted. So which program, which one it has? It's in the data. When we are running, it's in the data. If we see here SQL SQL, if we click on that, it's showing that which command it has run. So I will be removing this one, and then I am going to run this program. Pen drive ID is showing. Okay, pen drive int, and then it's showing is comma. Run it again. As you can see here, it's showing as is success, because we have failed because we have given is comma, not given comma. Okay, let's save it. So we have given the primary key was here, so we have removed, instead we give here, and now we have to make sure that the table has created successfully correctly. So for that, we can see the actual table like this, but not the all of this data that we have used here. So we will be giving that later on. So we can see the table actually like this, like pen drive ID, pen drive company, and the pen drive storage. So for seeing that, we can run the program like this. So for doing that, we have to hit enter here. And now what I am going to use is one more keyword known as describe. Okay, that is describe. Okay, describe I have used, and now I am going to give the which table I want to see is pen drive, and now I have to give is semicolon. And now if I am going to run in this program, as you can see here, it's showing us is pen drive ID. So here we have some difference, that is I will be making some more. Okay, some short. Okay, so here as you can see here, we have pen drive ID, pen drive company, and the pen drive storage. So these are the columns, these are in the form of columns, these are in the form of rows. Nothing will happen, it will be working. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this one. So as you can see here, we have 6 things, which is field. The first one is field, second one is type, third one is null, fourth one is key, fifth one is default, and the last one is extra. So here field, what is that field, which name is that? Like for example, if you are creating a student table, then you have to give the name of the student, age of the student, or student ID, or the subject that he is studying, whatever. But here I am going to use the pen drive example. So here pen drive ID, pen drive company, and the pen drive storage. For not confusing, this field is there. But which type of it is? Pen drive ID, which type of it is? Pen drive ID is the type of one integer, it's a whole number. After that we have pen drive company, but in the pen drive company it has these are the characters. So is a character, these are the alphabets, right? So that's why it's a varchar we have given here. After that the last one is pen drive storage. So there I have used is integer because these are the numbers. So we can calculate the pen drive storage, how much we can store in the with the numbers. So that's why I have given is in. And as you can see, if you notice here, key 1 in the key, here we have it's showing PRI because pen drive ID is the primary key of the table. So I have defined like that. So now what you will do for deleting the table? So for that we have to use is drop table, as I have said before, drop table. Okay, and which table I want to drop here is pen drive table. So pen drive. Okay, so now let's run this program. So it's working, it's success, it's showing us is success. And then if I run this program again, it's showing failed because the first time we have created the table and we have run the program. After that we have given is drop table pen drive. Before giving drop table pen drive, we have given is we have run this program, we have created the table. So for deleting the table, for running the program again, I have given is drop table, delete the table. Okay, so that's why I have given is drop table pen drive. So then I have run this program. After that it has deleted the table, so there are no tables. Then what I am doing is I am running this drop table pen drive again. So it's showing as the error failed because there are no tables available. Okay, so that's why it's showing as failed. So one more thing I forgot to show you is describe pen drive. Everything is working fine. When I am running this program, okay, run it again. say.pendrive doesn't exist. Describe. Okay, so now so what the difference is in this one, in SQL, which part of the, like I have to run this part here, okay, so I can click in this one anywhere, but describe pendrive is the different command, so that's why it was showing us fail. So now if I run this, click here and run it, it's showing us is success, 0 second success. Now because we have not created the table and we want to describe the table, so there are no tables to describe, that's why it was showing us the fail. So for not showing that error, we have to click here, run that program, and that it will be showing a success. Again I have to click here on the describe and run this program. That's the program. Okay, so anyhow, so the thing I want to show here is that we have these tabs, not tabs, what we could call is tabs. Okay, so here SQL Explore, we'll go back, data, SQL, the program, this one is running, right? This command is running here. After that we have data, it's showing the results that we got. After that we have chat, we can see that in the chat also. Okay, so after clicking on the chat, we have options like select chat, which chat you want. Okay, so what I want to see is, I want to see that on the bar chart. I will be clicking bar chart. Okay, okay, so now I want to save this one. Okay, so it's showing this is field, and here I want to see the key and select it. So okay, no group. Now let's save the chat. As you can see here, we can see the chat, so we can see the pendrive company, okay, everything. So want to delete this one. So anyhow, everything is working fine. So now we have talked about, we have created the table. So I want to drop it again, the last time, drop table, and then pendrive. This table I want to drop, and let's run this program again, and then I'm going to remove this command now. Okay, so now we have talked about creating tables, we have talked about describe, we have described the pendrive, we have seen the actual table, and now we know that how to delete the tables by clicking drop. And now what you have to know is altering the tables, altering the data. So okay, so now we have created the table, everything is working fine. So now we have to, so let's run this program. I want to show this one, this, okay, rows affected is showing working, and now describe, okay, this is also working. So now what I want is, I want to add the columns without deleting everything. Okay, so for that what I will do is, I will go down like here. I want to add one more column. We have pendrive ID, pendrive company, pendrive storage. One more thing I want to add is pendrive built date, when it was built. So for that I will be going down and I will be using is alter. After that I want to give is table. So now what I want to do is, I want to alter the table. Which table? Pendrive table. After that, which one I want to add here? What I want to add is pendrive. What I want to add? I want to add is add. So we want to add the pendrive built date, when it was built. So like for example, it can be built in 2013, many dates. So I will be giving is, what I want to add is built-in date. Pendrive built, not like this, pendrive built date, pendrive built. Okay, after that alter table, pen drive, add pen drive, build, everything we have given. So we want to add pen drive below this pen drive storage. So now what I'm going to do is I want to show that what it is. It's varchar, it's decimal, it's blob, or it's int. What is this? So I want to show is there will be in the numbers there will not no decimals. So we don't want to add any decimals. So that's why I'm going to use is int. int. So remember we have to use is semicolon. So see here, pen drive ID, pen drive company, and pen drive storage. So now I'm going to run this program. See here, rows affected is showing 0. Okay, let's run this program. Okay, after that describe table, pen drive. Okay. So as you can see here, I want to make this up. Okay, as you can see here, it's showing pen drive ID, pen drive company, and the pen drive storage, the pen drive built-in date when it was built. Okay, so anyhow guys, that's all for this video, and that's all for creating, altering, and deleting the tables. So anyhow guys, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you. Bye bye.